morning, everyone. Good evening and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Denzamos, and you're welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empath free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality, and I talk about personal and self-development. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us, give us a like, share this video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. I saw a comment a few days ago on my channel about, so this individual was talking about sexual energy, very high sexual energy. And I thought that, okay, so I'm going to find a way to explain, actually, enlighten you on what is really going on behind the scenes. So ladies and gentlemen, you guys know the drill. Please like the page. Make sure you share this video with your friends. Subscribe, of course. And guys, remember to hit that notification button. It's very important, so you will not be the one to miss out anytime I upload new videos. Spiritual awakening. So you have awakened, and you have opened these gates, and you now started entering, or you have entered into unfamiliar territory. You don't know what to expect. You know where you have been. You do not know where you're going. Very mysterious things are going to start to happen. They have already happened, actually. And you feel like you actually have it's like a very big jump. You know, you've jumped out of something that you already know, and you've jumped into something you don't even know. Now you're going through a paradigm shift. This paradigm shift is very intensive. This paradigm shift will never leave you the same. This paradigm shift, you will also experience a lot of breakups. So you're going to go through sometimes. If you're a person who has been having a relationship, of course, you have been married, or I don't know, friendships, relationships, things are going to start shifting around you. People will feel this energy. So if you're a person who is married and you've gone through a spiritual awakening, of course, the people around you, they're going to feel this energy. If it's your family, they're going to feel this energy. If it's your friends, they are going to feel your energy. And your energy this time is very mysterious, confusing, mysterious, and many people do not understand what is going on with you. Now, of course, something we need to understand, ladies and gentlemen, is the relationships as you knew them, they will never be the same. So you will see sometimes there's going to be a lot of friction between you and the people that you're dating at that moment. If you've been with a wife, you're going to have a lot of friction in the house. You're going to have a lot of fights. That awakening is going to cause something what they call a tower moment. And that tower moment is going to be very intensive. And people around you, in your vicinity, people that are going to know that there is something unusual is taking place. Although they will not really understand what really is going on. Now, the relationships that you thought you knew, the people that you thought you knew back in the days, pre-awakening, those besties, you used to have those besties, you used to have those, favorite people that you used to hang around with. You're going to see a very big shift as well in the way you feel about them. So it is not in the way that you hate them or something like that. It's not the way that, okay, so you dislike them or you don't like what they are doing or anything like that. But it's going to be that shift which is making you feel like you no longer feel their energy. You know what I mean? So you no longer feel you need to be around them. You no longer feel it's a necessity for you to be around them. And sometimes it's even very strange because you could have been around these individuals for, let me say, a couple of years. Could be 10 years, I don't know, 15 years, something like that. You know what I mean? But you're going to start to feel like you do not need actually to really be around them. You do not feel there is a necessity for you to be around them. Now you're going to start to feel this indifference between you and them. Because remember, you're unplugging out of an old paradigm into a new paradigm. So you're unplugging out of this matrix. You're moving into higher consciousness. And the same people that have been with you, they are still in that lower frequency. So they have not awakened like you. You know what I mean? So it's why I've said previous times in my videos that you do not have to take it personal. This whole thing is not personal. When you say that you no longer match up with people's frequencies, you don't really want to stay around certain individuals. You just have to know that there's things about you that are changing. So you're upgrading. You're going through an upgrade. Physically, you're going through an upgrade. Spiritually, you're going through an upgrade. Emotionally, there is a lot of things about you are going through a very big upgrade. You will know what I'm talking about when you move a couple of years later, let's say 5, 6, 7 years later into your journey. And you're going to look back and see that, okay, so everything that happened in that time, the universe was upgrading you into higher states of consciousness. And you have left a lot of people behind. So there is people around you that you cannot explain why they treat you the way they treat you or why you feel a certain way about them. Things are changing, you know what I mean? So relationships are breaking down. And sometimes it's very obvious, sometimes even scary, sometimes that there is things that are falling away and you do not have a control over this. You know what I mean? You cannot handle this. You do not have any power to control this. You are just letting things fall because you do not have any power over them. And at some point you're understanding that, okay, so maybe it's time for you, the universe is pushing you to release, allow yourself to release this energy. Because remember, you have been operating out of the 3D, very low dimension, and this energy has been very intensive. Very low vibrational energy, and now you're getting out of this energy. So the universe is pushing you to leave and to get out of that energy so that you can raise higher, into higher frequencies. So relationships around you, ladies and gentlemen, all I'm trying to say, chosen ones, is that relationships around you are going to change, definitely. You're going to experience a very, very big shift in the relationships around you. But on the other hand as well, something what you're going to experience, which very few people talk about, is loss of sexual appetite. Now you've been sexually active, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, you've had those days, you've been going on these dates and everything. You've been dating these girls here and there. And at the same time, you've been used to a certain vibration of women, or rather a certain vibration of men that you've been dating over the years. They are the ones, of course, you felt that you should date or you really wanted to date. But at some point when you're starting to go through these changes and, the shift and the changes and stuff like that, you are now going to realize that actually when you get out of that frequency, you're looking back and you no longer feel like you're not attracted to these individuals anymore. You know what I mean? Sometimes you may even have been in a marriage and sometimes you feel like you no longer want to go ahead with this marriage because sometimes you feel like your energy with your wife or your energy with your husband is actually at different frequencies. And the two of you are just, instead of, having normal days or normal evenings or normal nights, you're just into arguments because you are actually on different frequencies. You're talking about things that they do not understand. You're behaving in a way that they do not understand. They are questioning everything you do. You really need to understand sometimes the universe is pushing you because the universe wants you to go somewhere else. You have got a mission on this planet and the universe wants you to go and pursue your mission. The same thing goes with sexuality. Now you're going to realize as well, as you step into this, of course, post-awakening, you're into this journey. You're also going to start losing the sex drive. It's like you no longer... Yes, okay, so let me put it in simple terms. In the early days of the awakening, you will still have a little bit of that sexual drive because remember that this tower is coming down, so many things are falling away from you. So you will usually have some time of something like some kind of a sexual drive, and even sometime in a couple of months, you may get involved in some dates. You may even sometimes go out and date certain people. What is happening now? The universe is teaching you something. So the universe is teaching you the people that you're meeting. The universe is showing you. You will date them. Sometimes is the reason as to why a lot of chosen people they go out and date somebody. They go and date somebody for 3 weeks. Then they find themselves that they're not interested in that relationship. They're like, okay, they feel like that relationship is going a different direction. They don't want to be there, and now the universe is pushing them to another. So you're going to see sometimes you're having a few dates. Could be 1, could be 2, could even be more than 2 or something like that. But you're going to realize that you are no longer that same person you used to be. You know what I mean? You are no longer that same person you used to be. And for some reason, as a chosen one also who is waking up or who has awakened, you're also going to experience very low sex drive. You're going to lose interest in sex. You will have a lot of sexual energy within you. You will feel most of the times. Actually, that's why sometimes they have said that a lot of chosen people, they are very horny people. Now, chosen people, you will have a lot of sexual energy. You want to get laid. If you're a woman or if you're a man, you want to, get into some kind of sexual contact with someone. But at the same time, it's very difficult to explain because you have got a very high sex drive, but at the same time you have lost interest in the real sex. So let me give you an example. You feel that sexual energy within you, and then you meet this person, this man or woman, you've been out there, you've been out on your days, and then you met someone, and then maybe sometime you could have tried to even try get into some kind of relationship. It could have worked, of course, but on the real, encountering these individuals, you are going to reach that point where you feel like actually you don't want to sleep with them. As much as you have got that sexual drive, very high sex drive within you, but at the same time you're going to feel you don't want to sleep with them. So your energy, your sexual energy is at a high, but at the same time you don't want to get involved in sexual activity or things like that. I don't know if that thing kind of makes sense. So there's a person who said in my videos, for example, like I've been telling you in the beginning, there's a person who said that they feel like they have got this very, very big boost in their sexual energy, and they don't know what to do with themselves. I can guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, that sexual energy is there just because you are getting on a very high vibration. If you're not there already, you are actually getting on a very high vibration, and that vibration is also taking the entire system. Your entire DNA is going through upgrades. And it's the reason as to why you also, because remember that you are now realigning your chakras, all your body chakras, and the energy is coming to a high. But at the same time, the energy coming to a high does not call you to go and get involved in sex because your energy is at a high. You have got very high sexual energy, but at the same time, you don't want to get laid. You know what I mean? You don't want to get involved in sexual activity. Even if you do that, for example, by some chance you do that, you're going to recognize that it is not something you should have gotten engaged in, because you will feel that actually you have already left that vibration. It is not that thing you really want to do, because you are now being pushed to do different things with your life. You're being pushed to a certain direction. You are being pushed to a certain destiny. You don't even know where you're going, but you know that there's another calling that is, and you are putting all your attention, all your energy, all your focus, all your money, all your intentions into a different path altogether. Now you see, as a chosen one, when you're talking about relationships and sexuality as well, relationships and sexuality, you're also going to recognize that even the taste of the people that you want to date has changed. You know what I mean? So you have had back in the days, pre-awakening, of course, back in the days you have had the people that you used to like, the kind of ladies you used to like. But after awakening, post-awakening, you're going to recognize that actually the body doesn't mean the body of a person, for example, the women with a nice body and everything like that, it doesn't mean anything to you anymore. You know what I mean? You're not looking at their body, you're not looking at what they're driving, you're not looking at where they're sleeping, you're looking at their soul, because you are now very much interested in somebody with a very good energy. You know what I mean? You are looking at people energetically. You are no longer looking at people physically, but now you're looking at people energetically. So when a person, for example, comes to you and they propose a date, or they propose a relationship or a friendship or whatever, you want to see where that person is coming from emotionally. So you will even sometimes have a conversation with them, and then you will also recognize that conversation you will feel that frequency is not matching up. It's like, for example, you're two people here and you're talking, and then it's like whatever you're talking, they don't get you, and whatever they are talking, you don't get them. You even sometimes get them, but you don't want to be in that frequency, because you know that those individuals, they're coming from a very low frequency. So the dynamics of this whole entire relationship and dating and everything is going to change. So the dating scene for the chosen ones will always change. So what the universe wants you to do, what God wants you to do, you can put whichever name fits for you. What the universe wants you to do, the universe wants you to transmute energy, because you see, when you start to feel a lot of this sexual energy building up within you, it does not necessarily mean you have to go and get laid because you have a lot of sexual energy within you. Those are some of the things I had to deal with in the early days of my journey. You know what I mean? I had to deal with all this. There's a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Even until this moment, there comes that point whereby I feel a lot of this sexual energy, but at the same time, it doesn't call me to go and get laid because I have a lot of sexual energy within me. So you have to understand that the universe is pushing you to transmute that energy. So what the universe wants you to do, the universe wants you to put that energy into productivity, because sometimes the energy you are meant to put into productivity, it can be actually felt as sexual energy, but in reality, actually that energy is a different energy, which is actually calling you to put that energy back into something else, creativity, productivity. Get up in the morning, do something different, do something new, create something new, try to make something out of nothing. You know what I mean? You're a chosen one, so you have got these gifts you need to create. So if you're a person who is dealing with these kind of situations and you don't even know what to do, you have got to know that there is so many of us who are speaking the same language. We are where you are at the moment. We have been where you are at the moment. We know everything, most of the things that you're dealing with. So do not be surprised, chosen ones, when you're no longer attracted to the same girls that you used to do before. You have a lot of this sexual energy, but at the same time, it's known that you want to get laid. If you get laid, sometimes you may feel regretful about it. You may feel like actually you shouldn't have done it, because you're now going to start to feel like, this whole thing has been a waste of time. You shouldn't even have done it most of the cases. You're going to learn how to transmit your energy. You feel that energy, ladies and gentlemen, transmute it into productivity or sometimes into creativity. Create something new, write a book, I don't know, whatever it is you want to do. Go journal, try to do journaling, go out in the nature, earthing or grounding, whatever it is. But you have got to learn how to transmit a lot of that energy, because that energy is not meant for you to go and sleep with someone. The only time you're going to be able to get into relationships, like I've always said again and again, is the only time when you, ladies and gentlemen, you have actually gotten onto this life path that you know this is where you want to go. So the only person you want to entertain in some form of relationship or whatever, marriages, the future partners and things like that, is the only person that you know, when I put this person on board, this person is going to support me on my journey. You know what I mean? So that's the only person, because at the same time, those people, they should be at the same time awakened like you. They have got to be where you are vibrationally. You know what I mean? You can no longer vibrate people. You can no longer date with people who are actually on a different frequency than you. You need always to try to match up with the people who are on your frequency. It is the only way you're going to have successful relationships, because you're going to find a partner who is going to support you. They're going to work with you on your journey. They're going to support you in your craft. They will be pushing even sometimes to be better, even sometimes to do better, because they know where you're going. And sometimes the same thing happens to you. You know where they're going at the same time. The scene is no longer the same. The dating scene has changed, ladies and gentlemen. You need to accept these changes to happen, because if you do not accept these changes to happen, you're going to stuck into this cycle, and this cycle will never stop. Accept these changes to happen. Try to go with the flow. But should you ever notice that you are getting a different taste of relationships, you want to date a certain kind of men or a certain kind of women, you no longer want to date the people that you used to date before, you have got to know that you're going through an upgrade. So there is an upgrade going on. You're going through this awakening, or you have awakened. Now you're being upgraded physically, emotionally. Your DNA is changing at the same time, because remember that you're earthing, you're grounding, you're raising your vibration. Everything in you, everything inside of you is changing. Even sometimes you may run into people, like for example, you may have had some of the girls many years ago, you wanted to date them back in the days. You may run into them sometimes, and they may sometimes come and talk to you. They want to date you. You're going to feel like actually you no longer feel that energy. They may talk to you after a couple of years. They could even sometimes have rejected you back in the days, and they could sometimes come around and talk to you. And this time you're going to feel like actually you wish them well, but at the same time you do not want anything to do with them, because you know energetically you're actually on a different frequency, and the two of you no longer match up vibrationally. So chosen ones, learn about these things. Learn about, educate yourself more about sexual energy. Educate yourself more about high sex drive. Educate yourself more about relationships. You have got to know that these things, these changes, they are all happening for you, because the universe wants to get you exactly where you want to be. So let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. You guys already know that I do love and appreciate your support. You may book a session with me. You can't book a session with me. You can donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. There's more signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.